Hello friend, you're welcome back again to my YouTube channel. We're still on column constraints in SQL Server, and the next constraint we'll be considering is the check constraint. Check allows you to guide against problems that you can foresee or data quality issues that you can foresee before they even happen at all. So like the previous example I gave, I said probably you can put a check on your email so that no one will be able to enter an email without an @ or a dot. That is a check. That's how you can make sure that nobody enters the wrong email. You can put check on the length, you can put check on values. You can say, okay, for a quantity column, it has to be above 0. So it's not possible that a customer or an employee has sold a product that is of 0 quantity. So in case there is an error in typing or in imputing data, that data will not be imputed because it will give the error, it will flag an error that, okay, this data you're about to enter is wrong. Another column that you can use the constraint check on is probably statuses. Probably you have a check on your status and you say there are only 3 statuses. There is started, there is completed, and there is pending. So in case anybody is coming to input data on that table and they are writing a status that is not already in the list that you have given, that is not going to parse. So instead of having dirty data in your table, the check constraint allows you to guide against those. Let's see how check constraint works and how we can use it in a table. So we'll be using it on email. I will define another table where we can use it on maybe quantity like I've mentioned. So let's create this users table. So I've created my table. Now I want to impute this email. You see that I have defined a check here, a constraint that email must have the percentage signs allows you to, it is called wildcard in SQL. So the percentage card means any text that comes before @ So there will be a text before @ and there will be a text after @ and after that text there has to be a dot, then another text could be there. It could be that there's no text, but this allows you to make sure that there is always an @ and there is always a dot. So this check, now that we have created this table, I would try to insert this into the table. My email, as you can see, doesn't have an @ but it has a dot. So let's try inserting now. You see that the insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. So even if I was in a hurry and I made a mistake with my email, I won't be able to insert that table. I will have to go back to it to check that, okay, what is the problem with my email? So let's say this is Michael dot at, let's say the person's name is Adam at. Now that I have at, I want to remove this dot after at. Let's see what happens. Again, I cannot insert it because after at there has to be a dot. Regardless of this dot that is here, every valid email should have a dot after the @ So I have to put my dot back here for it to work. So it's just helping us to guide against future errors that could happen in this table. And this is a very good constraint, especially for columns that has predictable values. When your column has predictable value, check is a very good constraint to add. So here is another example for the check constraint. So I have the create table command and I put 2 checks. I said the quantity must be greater than 0 and the status must be within these 3 values. It can either be pending, shipped, or cancelled. It cannot be any other thing. So let me create this table. I've created my table. Now somebody else is coming to insert into this table and they were like, okay, the status is processing. Probably they wanted to write pending. And if I run this now, you see that it's not going to allow this value because I have put a check on it. This will save me a lot in my data. For example, you have a lot of dirty data, different values, and some values mean the same thing, duplicate values and all. This column constraints helps a lot in data quality check. It helps a lot, especially this check. It is really a lifesaver sometimes, but it's unfortunate that a lot of people do not use these column constraints in creating their table. It's just good for you to know as a data analyst, when you have this kind of errors, you know it is probably a column constraint error and you go check what constraints you have and then adjust your value accordingly. So let's put the right value now. Let's say this is pending and maybe by mistake I put this as -5. I can't run that also. My value, my quantity has to be above 0, and I have run that. So now I have a value in my orders table. The order status has to be within these three, and the quantity has to be greater than 0.
If you have watched the video to this point and you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel so that the YouTube algorithm will share the video with others like you that wants premium SQL content like this or that wants to learn. So if you subscribe, you're also encouraging others to learn what you're learning. Kindly subscribe and put on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified that another video has been. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.